If you over-apologize, it usually isn't because you're polite. It's because somewhere in your history, love became conditional. You learned that closeness could be lost quickly, and that keeping someone near required you to stay agreeable, easy, and emotionally safe for them. So you apologize to lower tension. You apologize to smooth over their moods. You apologize to stop the silence before it starts. You apologize for having needs. You apologize for your feelings. You apologize for the timing of your feelings. You apologize for the fact that you exist with a nervous system. And the worst part is you often do it automatically, without even realizing you're doing it, because your body thinks apologizing equals safety. If you're listening and thinking, I do this, I say sorry even when I'm the one who got hurt, then this is for you. Because over-apologizing is not just a habit, it's a survival strategy. It's your nervous system trying to keep connection by shrinking you. And you can stop it without becoming cold, harsh, or defensive. You can stop it by rewiring what safety means inside your body. The first thing you have to understand is what your apology is actually doing. In healthy relationships, an apology repairs. In anxious attachment patterns, an apology often preemptively surrenders. It's not, I did something wrong. It's, please don't leave. It's, please don't be mad. It's, please keep loving me. And when you apologize from that place, you're not repairing a mistake. You're buying peace. You're trying to control the other person's emotional temperature so you can feel safe again. But the peace you buy with self-abandonment never lasts. Because every time you apologize to keep someone close, you teach your nervous system a rule. My needs are dangerous. My boundaries are risky. My emotions cost me love. And once your body believes that rule, you will keep apologizing, even when you're right, even when you're hurt, even when you're the one who deserves repair. So the goal isn't apologize less. The goal is stop apologizing as a substitute for self-worth. The goal is to stop using sorry as a leash you put on yourself. Most people who over-apologize have one deep fear. If I take up space, I will be abandoned. So they become masters of reducing themselves. They become the person who never complains, the person who always understands, the person who always forgives quickly, the person who says sorry first so the other person doesn't have to face what they did. And that's why over-apologizing is so exhausting. It's emotional labor with no paycheck. You're constantly cleaning up the emotional environment so someone else can stay comfortable. And the relationship starts to work only when you work, which is not love. It's a performance contract. Now, here's where it gets very real. You might be apologizing to people who don't even deserve the apology. People who benefit from your guilt. People who prefer you small. People who like being right because it keeps them powerful. In those dynamics, your apology becomes their currency. It reinforces the imbalance. It tells them, I will blame myself before I ask you to be accountable. I will prioritize your comfort over my truth. I will swallow my needs to keep access. And once that pattern is set, it's hard to undo, because your nervous system thinks undoing it will cause abandonment. The first time you don't apologize, your body might panic. You might feel rude. You might feel selfish. You might feel like you did something wrong. That feeling is not proof you did something wrong. It's proof you've been trained. You have been trained to equate self-respect with danger. You have been trained to equate boundaries with loss. You have been trained to equate your truth with punishment. So stopping over-apologizing requires you to tolerate a new sensation, the discomfort of not smoothing everything over, the discomfort of letting someone be uncomfortable, the discomfort of not rushing to fix the atmosphere. Because if you always fix the atmosphere, nobody else has to grow. If you always apologize, nobody else has to repair. If you always take responsibility for the tension, the other person gets to stay emotionally lazy. So here is the rewire. You stop confusing guilt with responsibility. Guilt is a feeling. Responsibility is reality. You only owe an apology when you caused harm. You do not owe an apology for having feelings. You do not owe an apology for asking for clarity. You do not owe an apology for expressing a need. You do not owe an apology for existing in your full humanity. And if someone makes you feel like you do, that's information. That's not love. That's control. The second rewire is understanding that some people react badly when you stop over-apologizing because they were benefiting from your self-erasure. So you have to expect it. If you stop apologizing for everything, some people will call you dramatic. Some will call you too sensitive. Some will say you've changed. Some will say you're being cold. But that doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're no longer playing the role that made them comfortable. And that is often the moment your life changes. Because you start seeing who was only close to you when you were small. Who was only close to you when you were agreeable. Who was only close to you when you never asked for anything. That's a hard truth, but it's liberating. Because it means your over-apologizing wasn't love. It was a strategy to avoid loss. And the people who punish you for dropping that strategy are not safe people for you. Now, if you want to stop over-apologizing in a way that feels natural and not forced, you replace sorry with truth. Not aggressive truth, clean truth. Instead of sorry I'm like this, you shift to I feel strongly about this. Instead of sorry for bothering you, you shift to when you have a moment, I'd like to talk. Instead of sorry I'm upset, you shift to this hurt me. Notice how the difference is not just words, it's identity. Sorry makes you smaller. Truth makes you real. And real people don't apologize for being real. They take responsibility for harm, and they speak clearly about needs. That's secure. Secure people don't use apology to manage someone else's mood. They use communication. They use boundaries. They use self-trust. And you can learn that. Another layer. Over-apologizing is often a response to silence. If someone goes quiet when you have needs, your nervous system will try to prevent silence by preemptively apologizing. It's like your body is bargaining. If I apologize, maybe you won't withdraw. So stopping over-apologizing also means you stop bargaining with withdrawal. You stop trying to purchase connection from people who use distance as control. Because if someone withdraws every time you're human, the problem isn't your apology. The problem is their emotional immaturity. You can't apology your way into someone being safe. You can't sorry your way into being respected. You can't keep someone close by shrinking. You can only keep someone close by being in a relationship where closeness is not conditional on your self-erasure. So here's the key question that ends this pattern fast. When you apologize, who is it serving? Is it serving repair? Or is it serving your fear? Is it solving harm? Or is it soothing anxiety? If it's soothing anxiety, it's not an apology. It's a coping mechanism. And once you see that, you can start pausing. You can start letting the urge pass. You can start asking yourself, did I actually do something wrong, or am I trying to keep them? That moment of pause is where rewiring happens, because rewiring is not about never feeling the urge. It's about not obeying it automatically. And you will mess up sometimes. You'll apologize when you don't need to. That's okay. The win is noticing it faster and returning to your truth. Every time you do, your nervous system learns a new rule. I can be honest and still be safe. I can be direct and still be loved. I can take up space and still belong. And if someone leaves because you stop over-apologizing, let that be the cleanest confirmation that they were only staying for the version of you that erased yourself. They weren't staying for you. They were staying for your compliance. Real love does not require you to apologize for your boundaries. Real love does not punish your needs. Real love does not make you beg for basic presence. Real love can handle your honesty without turning it into conflict. So you don't stop over-apologizing by becoming harder. You stop by becoming truer. You stop by becoming loyal to yourself. You stop by refusing to trade your self-respect for access. Because the relationship that requires constant apologies from you is not a relationship where you're safe. It's a relationship where you're managing someone else's comfort at the expense of your own dignity. And you deserve better than that. You deserve a bond where your presence doesn't require an apology. You deserve a bond where you can be upset without being abandoned. You deserve a bond where you can have needs without feeling guilty. And until you have that, you become that for yourself. You practice being with yourself without apologizing for being human. You practice telling the truth without shrinking. You practice letting discomfort exist without rushing to fix it. Because that is what secure attachment is: the ability to stay present with tension without abandoning yourself. And when you can do that, you stop over-apologizing. Not because you memorized a new script, but because your nervous system finally understands this. Love that is real does not require you to beg for it with sorry. Welcome to Attachment Alchemy Lab. You're safe here.